Tervetuloa Dosenttiin. Meillä on täällä vieraana norjalainen urheilija, norjalainen kirjailija ja poliittinen aktivisti Hege Storhaug. Dear Hege, it is customary in the Dosentti that we will give the person, the guest, under interview a possibility to explain her history. And so I ask you, therefore, Hege, where are you from?
I'm from the south coast of Norway. I grew up on an island, yeah.
And what kind of a childhood you had? I mean, what kind of environment that was?
What I felt is the most important for me, that shaped me as a person, is athletes. I could be in the nature, challenge the nature, climbing the trees, being at the seaside, climbing the mountains, doing the sports. I was 100% free as a child, in a very safe surrounding.
So you had a kind of a Tarzan childhood?
Yes, definitely.
In the Norwegian jungle?
Yeah, people will call it a jungle, yes.
Okay.
It was a kind of Tarzan, yeah.
Oh.
I had parents who had experienced the Second World War. They talked a lot about it. They talked a lot about the Jews. My father, he went to school with one of the most famous Jews in Norway, who ended her life in Auschwitz. Those kind of stories did huge impressions on a child and youngster. I read all the relative books on those issues as a young girl. And I think the values I got from home is what drove me into who I am today and why I became a journalist and a human rights activist. I cannot take injustice. When I see injustice, you know, there is a kind of female bear coming up in me, wanting to protect, you know, protect the victims, you know. So that's how I ended up in journalism, and that's also why I went to Pakistan. That's also why I wrote 7 books on these issues, the last only on Islam. Because I know for sure, and I've seen it with my own eyes, what Islamic honor culture does to the personal freedom of people, how it destroys the whole society. And I see the same is here, and I saw it yesterday in Helsinki as well.
Now, Hege, I must ask you, because you're such a multi-talented and so multitasking person. First of all, not only being as a female bear, which is good, but you are an athlete, an active volleyball player, and a coach, and you've been doing a degree with the sports, and then with the journalism. So, my dear Haug, how on earth you've been able to do that?
No, it is that actually I didn't know what to become in life. Okay, I was very talented in sports. So then I ended up at the sport academy in Norway, because then I could have fun. So I had a lot of fun for 3 years, taking that degree, playing volleyball on the national team and so on. But I wasn't satisfied, because I didn't want to play in life in that sense. I wanted to do a difference. I wanted to fight, have a cause to fight for human beings, fight for the good society. And when this young woman from Pakistan, born in Norway, ended up in front of me, then that was my destiny. I was on the track on the issues.
May I ask, did you have any kind of other urges? You know, like that I would like to perhaps be a doctor or something else?
It was a period when I was around 20 years. I was planning that maybe I will become a midwife, be a midwife, and go to Africa and, you know.
Save the world.
Yeah.
Like Albert Schweitzer.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. But then
I'm very happy I didn't do it.
But then you became as a journalist, and you started to make very sensitive stories, very sensitive things. And you've been able to have a political impact also, because if I understand right, Folketinget had to pass a law which banned the forced marriages in Norway.
Yeah, I myself, through my work, I have been involved in a lot of things that has gone through the parliament, and I'm quite proud of that. On the one side, on the other side, I'm very unhappy with the situation.
But would you like to go to politics, may I ask?
No, I don't want to go into that rotten game.
How about
I've seen the game from the inside. It's quite rotten, and I'm not a strategic. I mean, I am a free soul. I say the things as I see it, and I think then the parliament should solve the problems.
But how about the mission to clean up the mess, like a kind of a Rambo, just clean up and clean?
I don't think I suit being a Rambo, okay? I don't think so. But I would say also that Human Rights Service, the political think tank #1 in Norway, the first one, we have done a lot of things. We have changed a lot of things in Norway in the politics, concrete things. But it was far too little and far too late.
Now, we continue with your activities in the field of journalism. Your second topic, the honorary killings in Norway, very sensitive matter. And why the politicians find it so difficult to even discuss about these matters?
Because then you have to criticize a culture. And that culture belonged to the third world. And that culture belonged to a different race. And then the whole guilt complex about the colonial time, the Nazism, the racism, everything comes on the table. And it stops action.
But Norway hasn't had any colonies ever. I mean,
no,
Finland
no,
either.
But we were part of the West.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are the same race as the British. So, of course, we are guilty. We are still guilty.
Now, now, how about this racist card? It's always used in these discussions. Then.
Yeah.
I mean, is somebody who's trying to criticize or change the situation, is he always naturally a racist?
It's been widely used through the years. It's very severe because racism is very severe.
Yeah.
I can't stand that kind of attitudes. And now we are in a situation where that card has been used, abused so many times on human rights activists like me that, you know, it doesn't function anymore. So they have destroyed the content of that, of racism. And another thing.
Yes, please.
And that will be more and more on the table now. That, you know, you, me, Finnish people, Norwegian people, we are raised that all people are equal.
Amen.
Yes.
That's right.
Amen.
Yes,
that's
democracy.
Right. Yeah.
Equality.
And if you go to Pakistan, if you go to African countries, that was also a cultural shock for me in Pakistan. The extreme rate of racism. How they were judging each other on the skin color. So the paler you are in Pakistan, the more beautiful you are viewed and the higher price on the marriage market. And the darker you are, the lower you are, the more shit you are as a human being. I saw this, and my best friend, when she was born, and she's a beauty, when she was born, her mother cried.
Really?
You know why? Because her daughter had darker skin than average in Pakistan, and the mother thought, how will I manage to marry away this girl one day?
It's awful.
Yeah. So when they are coming here and calling us racist, it's over the top. It's over the top.
Now we go to the third very sensitive topic, and that's the female genital mutilations. Once again, why the so-called mainstream politicians are not so keen to discuss about this matter, because it is very wrong.
Yeah. Again, racism. They are afraid of being labeled racists. This is a horrible issue. I've been working on it since the late 90s. We have documented that Norwegian-born girls are mutilated. And we have managed in Human Rights Service to have a case almost coming to court. Because the proof, they were there. There was no discussion. But you know then, then the parents get away with it by saying that, oh, is she mutilated? I didn't know. It must have maybe happened behind my back. And everyone knows that's a lie. Because you know who is doing it, you know how much it costs, you know your own culture, you know all the rituals, you know everything. So that is a way, again, this cultural relativism. We accept cultures that actually are breaching basic human rights. But we have now been working in Human Rights Service with a new set of laws on this issue. If everything goes right now, we will have a new law in Norway next year, making the parents responsible to protect their child for not being mutilated. You see, we turn it upside down.
Yes, yes.
So I know the government is working hard on it, so let's see if they will have it through the parliament. So I really hope that will happen. Then Norway will have the best laws on these issues in Europe.
So,
and in the world.
Yeah, very good. So how do you think that, there's a kind of a mental strainment, which, hinders, that the matters can't be resolved? That would you think that Norway would need a new Eidsvoll, a state meeting, that, people would change their ideas and minds in this matter, that democracy would be defended and human rights also?
I have a feeling that a lot of things will happen in the next 5 to 10 years in Western Europe. Because it's obvious that the immigration has been very wrong the way it has been handled. It has been handled very bad. Wrong people have come. I mean, when I meet a jihadi in Helsinki, fully dressed jihadi in your street, my God, he could have put on a Nazi uniform. So I think, for example, international conventions will be revised. I think maybe some countries in the West, Eastern Europe, will withdraw from those conventions to protect their own people. Because it's like we are in a situation, I mean, if something, I have a house, me and my spouse, and if there is a leak in the house, or if we have lost our keys to the door, of course we mend it. We don't live in a house, going down. But look at Western Europe, what we have done. We see all the problems now, but we don't mend it. But we wouldn't do that with our own home. We have to look at the national states as our home. Actually, Finland is the home for the Finnish people. It's not the home for the rest of the world.
Thank you, Haug. Thank you. Unfortunately, time runs up, but anyway, thank you very much for excellent interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Dosentti jatkaa erittäin tärkeiden asioiden käsittelyä ja tuo aina Dosenttiin kaikkein mielenkiintoisimmat ihmiset. Katsomaan aina Dosentti.